Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Police are on the scene of a shooting in Lexington that sent one man to the hospital. What a hard-fought game. The Wildcats gave top-ranked Mississippi State a run for their money. And investigators are searching for clues after someone found a human arm in the Kentucky River. WKYT News at 11 starts now. We are tracking a breaking news alert out of Lexington tonight. Good evening. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Right now, police are on the scene of a shooting on Ward Drive. They tell us just before 9 o'clock, someone shot a man in the torso inside a home. We're told when police arrived, the shooter was inside the house and they arrested him and took the victim to the hospital.
He did have a single gunshot wound. He did appear stable when he left the scene, but I'm not sure what his condition is at this time.
Police are still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. The Cats fought hard against top-ranked Mississippi State tonight, ultimately losing 45-31. WKYT's Lee K. Howard joins us now with highlights from the game. Hey, Lee K.
Hey there. It was an uphill battle for the Wildcats taking on the top team in the country. But, you know, Kentucky never stopped fighting this afternoon, hosting Mississippi State. The Bulldogs, they had won the previous 5 meetings against the Wildcats. And in the first quarter, the Wildcats were down 7-0 when Patrick Tolles finds DeMarco Robinson along the sidelines. Watch the concentration, stays in bounds, and makes several defenders miss on his way to the 67-yard touchdown. Tied at 7, DeMarco Robinson's first touchdown of this season. Now the Cats would trail 17-10 at the half. Mississippi State got the ball back to start the second half, and Prescott caps off the 12-play drive with that 11-yard run up the middle. He's in that Heisman conversation. Next UK possession. How about Patrick Tolles taking that designed run 10 yards to the score? He says, hey, I can do that too. Back to a one-possession ball game. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Kentucky down 38-24, and Tolles right up the middle. It's 38-31, 390 yards passing, 76 yards rushing for Tolles. But, you know, Kentucky never attempted an onside kick this year, and they looked a little rusty in that department. Christian Holmes goes the other way, 61 yards on the failed onside kick attempt, and that would be it. Mississippi State would come away with the victory, 45-31. We will, of course, hear from Mark Stoops and Patrick Tolles coming up a little bit later in sports. Kristen?
Thanks, Lee K. The national spotlight was shining on the Cats as they took on #1 Mississippi State today, and Commonwealth Stadium was packed. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to fans having a good time despite the loss.
Quarterback draw. Tolles.
Despite some late fireworks, it didn't end the way they wanted.
Touchdown, Mississippi State.
But that doesn't mean fans aren't proud.
You know, this year, I feel like every game's been extremely exciting, maybe minus the LSU game. Florida, I was on my feet, so it's pretty awesome.
It's probably the loudest game I've been to. So the fans are really in it, and that's really great to see.
Fans say they could feel the excitement of such a big game, saying it created a better atmosphere both inside and outside the stadium. Even the fans who didn't make it inside the stadium were still showing their spirit.
So every UK fans walked around saying we found Waldo, obviously. But it's been so much fun. CATS, 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 cats all the way.
Sounds like we're doing something good. We got something to cheer about this year. So I think that, our team is doing some awesome things. So, why not? That's the theme, why not? Why can't we win? And we're doing things in the East.
And even though fans weren't leaving with a win,
I think this is just kind of showing everybody what UK can do in football. And we're usually a basketball school, but I think we're coming to football, and SEC better watch out.
at least they could still go home happy. At Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
UK athletics leaders counted more than 64,000 people packing Commonwealth today. We hope you enjoyed the warmer temperatures and sunny skies today. It looks like the weather will stick around for a few more days. WKYT's Mike Linden has a first look at the forecast. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Kristen, it's the final weekend of October, and boy, it looks like the weather just waited for the final weekend of October to give us maybe the best weekend of them all, as temperatures currently still sit in the low 60s and upper 50s. Much warmer than where we were yesterday by almost a full 10 degrees for most spots. It has just been a perfect Saturday since that cold front ran through Kentucky earlier this morning. Now, if we look to Defender, we're just not really seeing much of anything this evening to go along with the fact that a cold front has kind of hit the reset button on the bluegrass and has calmed us down a little bit. Now, for the rest of the evening, we're looking at temperatures to fall back into the upper 40s, while it still should be a bit breezy for you and still a bit cool as we head in deeper into the evening and into Sunday morning. But coming up in about 10 minutes or so, here's what I'll be talking about. The fact that it'll be staying breezy overnight tonight. A better Sunday than maybe what we saw today, but the big changes arrive on Friday for Halloween. I'll tell you how much colder we could expect to be in just 7 short days coming up.
Fishermen in Henry County made a disturbing discovery. Kentucky State Police say they found a human arm. We're told they were fishing in the Lockport community when they discovered it Friday. State Police didn't find any adjoining body parts. They expect it to take some time before the coroner is able to identify who the arm belonged to.
It's not something that's going to be solved overnight. It's not going to be solved in a week or a month, probably. It takes time. This is not CSI on TV. It takes a lot of time.
The coroner isn't sure of the race or gender of the person. He's also not sure how long the arm was in the water. A Central Kentucky man is behind bars tonight facing an attempted murder charge. Danville police say Jerry Mathis, the owner of Jerry's Body Shop in Danville, shot another business owner, Rick Cole, on Roy Arnold Boulevard last night during an argument. When police arrived, they say the two men were wrestling with a gun and Mathis shot Cole in the stomach. Cole is expected to be okay.
It's unfortunate that we have an incident like this, but hopefully Mr. Cole can survive those injuries, and it was reported to me they were not life-threatening, but I just heard he was in stable condition.
The police chief tells us there were employees at the shop at the time of the shooting. He's now interviewing them. 20 years later, they are still feeling the loss. The family of a young Lexington man killed in a police-involved shooting paid tribute to him last night. Back in 1994, a Lexington police sergeant shot 18-year-old Tony Sullivan. That sergeant told investigators the shooting was accidental, and when a grand jury chose not to indict him, angry mobs stormed into downtown Lexington. Tony Sullivan's brother told us what happened that night is still fresh in his memory.
These kids now, they have to understand that these things aren't easy to deal with.
The Sullivans say they have gathered to remember Tony every year on or near the anniversary. Today, the family of the oldest World War II veteran in Kentucky laid him to rest. Roscoe Cassidy was 107 years old when he passed away this week. Cassidy was born in 1907 and served overseas in World War II. After an honorable discharge, Cassidy came home to Bath County but didn't talk often about the war. Cassidy's son was overwhelmed today by the community's support for his father.
Shocked. He would just be so overwhelmed. It would just bring tears to his eyes, know that he was appreciated like that.
Family members tell us Cassidy fell and broke his hip last week and then developed pneumonia.